Back in December, Maren, a viewer of the channel, reached out to me after watching some of my speaker reviews and asked if I could review a specific pair of speakers that he called the dream for any aspiring music producer. My name is Sebastian from TechCentury and I'm here to help you and Maren make the right purchasing decision. Welcome to my full review of the Eve Audio SC203. Before getting started, I want to thank Eve Audio for making this video possible by sending these speakers out for review. As usual, this doesn't affect my judgment of the product, and during this video we will talk about all the good and also the bad. Since I assume a lot of you haven't heard of Eve Audio and their products before, just like me, let me give you some background information first. Eve Audio is a young company based in Berlin, Germany that was founded in 2011 and that has specialized on manufacturing professional studio monitors. Despite its relatively small size, the Eve Audio speakers are available in more than 60 countries through various partners. For the pricing and availability of the SC203, please check out the Eve Audio website below. Now, usually in my reviews I talk about the audio quality at the very end, but this video is different. When I received the SC203s, I honestly wasn't really sure what to expect, and being happy with speakers such as the M-Audio BX4 until then, I wasn't even sure if I would even be able to hear the difference between them and the Eve Audio. This doubt vanished the second that I listened to the SC203 for the very first time, where I just simply couldn't believe how big the difference was and what kind of sound quality such compact speakers could actually produce. In the past 10 years, I've used a wide variety of desktop speakers from a lot of widely known and popular brands such as Mackie, Edifier, Alesis, Logitech, Creative, Focal and many more. And still, the SC203s just left me sitting in my chair, absolutely stunned by the clarity, soundstage and instrumental separation. In terms of highs and mids, I can't recall ever listening to any speaker that even comes close to what the SC203 can produce. No matter if I was listening to rap, hip-hop, musicals, rock, pop or jazz, it felt like I never really heard these songs as good as this, and it even led me to discover details in songs that I've never heard before despite listening to the same song countless times in the past, with mids and highs just sounding crystal clear and a wide soundstage as well as an incredibly big sweet spot. For the size, even the lows are really impressive thanks to the Passive Radiator being crisp and on point. My personal highlights listening to music on these speakers were the whistling at the beginning of Wind of Change by the Scorpions, the last refrain in the Radioactive song by Pentatonix and Lindsey Stirling, where you can differentiate all the different voices and the violin from another, and Non-Stop from the Hamilton Broadway musical. Of course, Eve Audio also got the basics right, with zero acoustic noise being present when the speakers are turned on, but you don't play back any audio, which is very important when I produce my videos. Of course, these speakers are not limited to a great music reproduction though. No matter if it's talking head content on YouTube or shows and movies on Netflix, the SC203 also sound great in these applications. Now, unfortunately, I'm not a music producer myself, so I can't go more in depth on how these speakers perform in that specific environment, but I can say that the SC203 hugely benefited the mixing of my own videos during the editing process, and that there's not any other pair of speakers that I would trust as much as the SC203 with giving me an accurate, neutral representation of the audio track. But now let's move on and take a closer look at what makes the SC203 so special to find out why they sound so good. First off, the box of the SC203 is a pretty standard brown shipping box that won't turn any heads, and I was immediately surprised by the small size that was significantly smaller than the 4-inch multimedia monitors that I was used to. Diving inside the box with my unboxing glass, the first thing that you see is solid shipping foam and the user manual. Below that, you can't miss the bright orange isolation pads that Eve Audio calls the flexi pads that also angle the speakers towards your ears. Instead of foam, these are made out of silicone and fit the speakers like a glove. Lifting the inlay, we are now moving on to the included cables, of which there are plenty. First off, we will find the wall adapter for the power brick that will be specific to your country. In my case, this is the German one. Next, we see a USB Type A to USB B cable that you can use to connect these speakers to your Mac or PC. Moving on, we also have an aux to cinch cable included, so that you can connect the speakers to devices that don't have a USB port, but a headphone jack, like some smartphones and tablets. Next up, we then find the speaker cable that connects the two speakers with each other, but instead of being a regular 2-wire cable, this features 4 wires and solid connectors on each side. Last but not least, we then move on to the power brick. We are now getting to the speakers themselves, which is what we've been waiting for. For safety, there's also some handling instructions on a sticker that really tells you to not touch the speakers and the front and back, because this could damage the passive radiator. The box content overall is also very impressive, including everything what you need to set up and use the speakers. Specifically appreciated are the flexi pads, which mean that you have a great compact solution for angling the speakers towards your ears and isolating them from your desk without the need to go out and buy additional bulky acoustic foam. In addition to this included content, there are also some very useful optional accessories specifically for the SC203 available from Eve Audio. These include a longer 5-meter speaker connection cable if the included 1.5-meter long cable is too short for your application. In addition to that, there's also a rugged transport soft case for carrying the speakers, including all the cables, with you in a compact and convenient package, as well as a mic thread mount bracket that you can use to mount the speakers to a standard microphone stand, or the also available mic thread wall mount. With these accessories, Eve Audio basically offers a solution for any production environment. If you like this video, it would be super awesome if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to join our small community here. Everyone is welcome and appreciated, and your support is really what makes creating content like this worth it and exciting. If you have any product review requests just like Maren, please let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. But now let's take a look at what makes the SC203 so special. First off, the size. Despite their 3-inch woofers, the SC203 are very compact in size and significantly smaller than my BX4s, which make them perfect for mobile production environments or smaller desk setups. Second, connectivity. Despite their small size, the SC203 not only feature RCA cinch input, but also USB and even an optical input. This input selection is quite unique and offers a lot of potential. Personally, I have the SC203 connected via the USB port to my iMac, which leaves the headphone jack on the iMac available for headphones or other speakers, which is much appreciated. On top of that, the optical input also means that you could easily hook up these speakers to your TV. Another unique feature is the subwoofer output, which is rarely seen on smaller monitor speakers. Eve Audio also offers 2 compatible subwoofers with the TS107 and the TS108 that I will link below. Third, the drivers. On the SC203 you will find a 3-inch woofer in combination with a very unique and rarely seen 1-inch voice coil as an AMT tweeter. AMT drivers are usually only found on larger, higher-end studio production speakers, offering a larger sweet spot and more accurate sound reproduction. This combination produces this incredible sound despite the very compact size. For those of you who want to learn more about the technical details of the drivers, you'll find the according links below. 4. The built-in amplifiers. Another aspect that makes these speakers unique is the fact that they have a total of 4 amplifiers, which means that each of the 4 drivers has their own 30-watt amplifier. This should also help avoid overheating and increase the longevity of the speakers, which is awesome. Number 5. The integrated USB interface. Further setting the SC203 apart from other compact studio monitor speakers, the SC203 already include a USB audio interface, which means that you can connect them directly to your PC without the need of an additional audio interface like the Moto M2, which not only saves you money but also makes the speakers more portable. Number 6. The passive radiator. In addition to the woofer and tweeter, the SC203 also feature a passive radiator which uses internal air pressure to move. This helps producing low frequencies that otherwise wouldn't be possible on such small speakers. 7. The menu. Despite packing a ton of features, there's only one single volume knob on the front that also doubles as a button and controls most of the features of the SC203. With the knob you can turn on and off the speakers, raise and lower the volume, mute the speakers, switch between the different inputs, choose from different LED modes, adjust the balance of the system and even adjust the sound by adapting the speaker's frequency response to a flat desk or console setup. It is also possible to activate different audio filters like a high, a low and a higher-low filter combination to adjust the audio coming out of the speakers to your room. While controlling this many features with a single button could have really been complicated and confusing, Eve Audio really created an ingenious system in combination with the LED ring around the speakers that makes the adjustments easy and seamless while auto-saving the adjustments. For even more control, there are 3 additional switches on the back, with the first one enabling or disabling the auto standby feature that puts the speaker into standby 10 minutes after no signal was detected and automatically turning them back on once a signal is detected. The second switch controls the satellite filter, which should be enabled when connecting the speakers to an external subwoofer. Last but not least, the third switch changes the input sensitivity between 8 and 22 decibels. Moving on to the design of the SC203, I have to admit that I wasn't the biggest fan when I first saw them online. However, this was only until I actually saw them in person for the first time, and especially on my desk setup with the black and silver design, they match the iMac very well and look great together. I also like the small details like the Eve Audio and Berlin, Germany branding below the woofer, and really appreciate that the drivers are protected with this metal mesh, which is especially convenient if you want to carry them with you to mobile productions. Important to note is also that the speakers themselves are already angled upwards 7.5 degrees even without the flexi pads, but with these included flexi pads you can then get 2 additional projection angles, 15 degrees that you see right here, as well as also 0 degree if you turn them around. The build quality of the SC203 is simply put outstanding. With their relatively high weight of around 2 kilograms, they are quite heavy for their compact size and they just feel dense and super solid. Talking about what I would like to see improved, only small details come to my mind and none of them are deal breaker. While I like the knob on the front because of its design, the grippy texture and functionality, it would have been even better if it was made out of metal instead of plastic to really be in line with the otherwise very premium experience. Something similar can be said about the 3 tiny switches on the back for the additional features. It would be great if these were bigger and also integrated on the backplate itself instead of being recessed. Last but not least, having a headphone jack here on the front of the active speaker would also be super convenient for connecting headphones. But now it's time for my verdict, and this is really easy. Even after 10 years of testing hundreds of products, there are only very few that impressed me as much as the Eve Audio SC203. My recommendation therefore is simple. If you're looking for compact studio monitor speakers and the SC203 are in your budget, don't think twice about it and pick them up. I'm sure that you will love them just as much as I do. Recently, I've been testing more and more speakers and headphones here on the channel, and there's not a single product that I own that can even come close to the audio quality of the SC203, and I really look forward to using them as my reference speakers for the foreseeable future. If you have any questions, I'm there for you in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and I really hope to see you next time.